I was a single child. You would say, well, that's not surprising, you are Chinese. But well, I was a single child until I got a sister. I was born in 1989, the tail of 1980s in China. A few years after the one-child policy started. At that time, if you work for the state-owned enterprises, by law, you were not allowed to get a second baby. Otherwise, you will lose your job. Luckily or unluckily, neither of my parents was. My father was an entrepreneur and my mother was a housewife, living a peaceful life in Nanjing until Xinran, my baby sister, came. Back then, I do not recall one family having more than one child. This was unusual. Sometimes I was thinking why it occurs to me. After my younger sister's birth, my parents spent most of their time taking care of her. We could no longer go travel together since she was too young to take a flight. We could no longer go and eat at our favorite restaurant since she was too young to dine out. My mom could no longer have heart-to-heart talk with me. My dad always took her needs first. They spent little time with me, which made me feel like my younger sister stole my parents. How I wish they could spend the equal time on me as on my younger sister, at least the same as before. I'm not here to complain either about my parents or my younger sister. I'm here to share my feelings and experience. On the perspective as an elder kid, I wish my parents could let me participate in taking care of my younger sister. I still remember the first day she came, chubby face, dark hair, and small eyes. Who wouldn't say she was a cute thing? I still remember when she was 2 or 3 years old, I particularly wanted to participate in her daily life. When I saw her toddler, I wanted to hold her hands and teach her how to work. When I saw her hungry, I wanted to feed her using those fancy and cute bottles. However, my parents prevented me to do all of those. They wanted me to focus on my study since I was preparing for the college entrance exam. Every time I wanted to help my mom with her daily life, such as changing the diapers for Xinran, she always stopped me and said, it's a waste of time. With Xinran grows up day by day, I feel like I missed the opportunity to participate in her grow up. Moreover, since my sister and I have 12 years gap, my parents couldn't treat us the same or even similar. As I can remember, every morning I woke up at 6 a.m., rode a bicycle to school, which took me 30 minutes, regardless of the weather was raining and snowing. After a whole day study, rode the bicycle 30 minutes back home. When I got home, eat dinner, and go back to study, day by day. I feel like I was living on a lonely island, since no one had the same experience as me. When I was 17, I wanted to study abroad, so I asked my parents if it's possible to study abroad. They rejected my proposal and gave me the answer was, you are too young to study abroad. But 12 years later, with the development of social economy, the economics of my family gets better as well. Xinran started to go to school. She can sleep to 7:15 a.m., eat breakfast prepared by mom, dressed up and went in the car. During the 12 years, my mom has learned how to drive, so she drove the car to her school and picked her up there every day. I had to study hard to prepare for the college entrance exam, but Xinran doesn't need to do. Since the change of the concepts of education in China, more parents found that taking the college entrance exam might not be the only way to obtain success. More parents started to encourage their children to study abroad. So once my younger sister asked my parents if it's possible not to take the college entrance exam, my parents helped her to find the best agency and sent her to the United Kingdom when she was 17. At that time, I couldn't understand and thought it was unfair. During Xinran's grow up, my parents always praised me as good sister, which made me feel like it's my responsibility to behave like a good sister, and it's my responsibility to take Xinran's needs always at the first place. When we hang out, I have to order her favorite dishes at her favorite restaurant, even though I really don't like them. I have to share my favorite belongings with her, even though I not really want to. Being a good sister makes my parents and my sister happy, but not me. What determines us is not the experience itself, but what the meaning we give the experience does. My experience makes me think about what parenting looks like. First, they would be mindful of their elder kids and their feelings. Maybe they can give them some special treatment, such as a one-child dinner or one-child trip. It would let them believe that even the new siblings come, the love for them will never decrease. And with the new life comes to family, the love even gets bigger and bigger. Second, let your elder kids participate in taking care of the younger ones as much as possible. It would not only make the elder ones be more reliable and responsible, but also make the two kids more and more close, since they share the precious memory and grow up experience. Third, considering the change of society and times, it's difficult to treat the kids totally the same, since they have year gap, but try your best. Last but not least, don't tell your kids you have to be a good sister or brother. Let your kids be themselves. Tell them if you don't want to do something, then just don't do it. And tell them you are you first, then you are someone's sister or brother. Don't sacrifice your own needs to satisfy others, even though the person is your younger sister or brother. Now I'm the mother of a 23-month-old baby, and being a mom myself, I can totally understand my parents. As I said, at that time, there's no one family in our community had more than one child, so my parents had no chance to get any knowledge about raising up two kids. They did try their best to be mindful of my feelings, but they were just too tired to taking care of a little one, especially in her first couple of years. They did try their best to treat Xinran and I the same, but the times has been changed too much. It's their first time, our parents being parents. There must be some errors they couldn't do perfectly. It happens. What I want to share with all the elder kids is that fairness is not the most important thing in family, but love matters the most. I want to thank my parents, my daughter, and my sister. Thank my parents for giving me life and all the happiness you have created for me. I really appreciate the life by just being your daughter, and I want to say I love you. Thank my daughter to give me the new role to be a better self and make me understand my parents more. Thank my younger sister for giving me the chance to be the elder kid in family and to be the kid and give me more power to make decisions and be responsible. And also, I want to thank all the organizers of TEDx for giving me the opportunity to rethink the relationship between me and my parents, me and my younger sister. My sister has been learning dance since she was very young. Now she's still a ballroom dance lover. I can imagine that someday, if my daughter wants to learn dance, Xinran would teach her and play with her, like what I did in the past. Thank you.